Hello, my name is David Getz, and I am the composer of Ruth, the musical. This is an original musical written right here in Central Illinois, and it's going to be playing in 5 Points here in Washington on July 12th and 13th. Our Saturday night show is at 7 p.m., and our Sunday afternoon show is at 3 p.m. You can get tickets online at theruthmusical.com. You can also get tickets at the door. We have $20 tickets for general admission, and $35 gets you a VIP ticket, which includes preferential seating at the front of the theater and access to a pre-concert lecture and Q&A session with myself an hour before each showtime. The story of Ruth comes from the Bible. It tells the ancient, timeless story of Ruth, Naomi, and Boaz, and follows their journey in ancient Israel, leading up to eventually the family line of King David. 27 original songs that I wrote during a span from 2011 to 2018. I think there's something that everybody will enjoy. Elements of this story are applicable to any life situation, and I think you'll really enjoy the incredible talent that's going to be putting this show on in July.
My name is Allison Moit, and I play the role of Naomi in Ruth the Musical. Naomi is a woman of her time in that she has to live based on what society says she can and can't do. And so she's really at the mercy of the men in her lives. And it happens to be that the men in her life have died. So her husband and her 2 sons have passed, and she doesn't have a lot of options. She plans to go back to her homeland, and her daughter-in-laws try to stay with her, and she says, no, I need to go back by myself. I want you to have a good life. But Ruth stays with her. And it's this beautiful story of sacrifice. Through the love that Ruth has for her, Naomi is redeemed.
My name is Courtney Huffman Fry, and I play the character Ruth in Ruth the Musical. This is the 3rd time that I will be playing Ruth. The thing that makes me the most excited about playing her again is having lived the life that I've lived in that time has given me a new appreciation for her. I actually lost my mother a few years ago, and so I have a new understanding, a deeper understanding of Ruth and losing some of the people that she loved. She lost a husband, father-in-law, and a brother-in-law. I can very much relate to that loss now in a deeper way. Just appreciate the hope and the faith. Just have more love for her, even more now than I had before. One of my favorite songs that I get to sing is Ruth's Prayer. Dave writes it almost as if it's like the first time Ruth is praying to God, the God of Israel, and she doesn't really know what she's doing, but it's so beautiful and vulnerable. And now, this time, we're doing more of a musical theater version of the show rather than operatic, and which tends to lend itself to being more connected to the emotions and the acting.
My name's Daniel Megley. I'm playing the role of Boaz in Ruth the Musical. The role of Boaz has been so interesting to explore. It's such a timely role of a man who puts his faithfulness above all else. He's willing to do what he knows is right, despite what that might cost him socially or economically. And it's been really inspiring to get to delve into that character. Believe it or not, my favorite song to sing is not the big solo that I have, although that's a lot of fun. There's actually a little scene between Boaz and the kinsman where Boaz gets to kind of lay out, hey, here's Ruth, she needs help, and you get to inherit Elimelech's land if you marry her, but also you have to deal with the ramifications of she's kind of a social outcast, and then you get to be that too. And he gets to show off his business acumen in kind of convincing the kinsman, hey, you don't actually want this, but then very craftily gets the kinsman to say, wait a second, aren't you the one that's going to do this? And I really love that scene. I love the way that Dave wrote the music and the play that I get to do with the kinsman, who's played by a friend of mine, Carson. That scene's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to sing, a lot of fun to do. This is one of the few times where you get to have a biblical story really brought to life, really 3D.
This show is back and being re-released with a full orchestration of string orchestra, as well as a 30-person choir. Premiere was just 11 people, and now we have over 45 people involved in this year's production.
I think that Ruth the Musical is just such a beautiful story of redemption. Just goes to show that God is so gracious and redemptive, and that he can take anyone, bless them. It's a story that people need to hear.
Thanks for watching the ExplorePeoria.com Entertainment Report. Please share this video on your Facebook timeline. Make sure to check out the ExplorePeoria.com events calendar, a comprehensive listing of events in the Peoria area. Plus, make sure to sign up for our free weekly e-newsletter.
Anything you need to know, and the only site you need to go, ExplorePeoria.com.